The Tata Punch is one of our best of 2021. Mr. Vivek Srivatsa, Head Marketing, Tata Motors, is here to accept the award. Vivek, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dhruv.
So we've made a lot of puns on the punch because it's really punching above its weight. It's really impressed us. But what does the market rollout look like in light of the semiconductor shortage?
You're watching the autoX YouTube channel. You can also get your daily dose of all things automotive on our website, autox.com, and follow us on social media. Don't forget to check out our monthly magazine and make sure to hit the bell and subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
Yeah. So first off, I think we've been very overwhelmed by the kind of customer response. Thank you for the kind words, but yes, we kind of were ambitious in the kind of product we developed, and it's hit the sweet spot. Customer response has been good, but it's a struggle in terms of how we manage our production. So to be very upfront, we don't have enough supplies of semiconductors to manage the demand, and we are kind of doing a carousel management with our other products so that we balance out and so that no one product is on shortage for a longer period of time. Punch is added to the stress in a good way. But we would prioritize the Punch over other products in the coming months so that we get a few on the road and keep customers happy. The semiconductor issue, we don't see it easing off anytime soon because I think markets across the world are picking up in terms of demand, and this is going to be around for some time, and it's up to industries and manufacturers to really work around how best they can manage.
And from a design and engineering point of view, because it hits the sweet spot on so many different areas, what was the target when developing the Punch?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very iterative process. It took a long time for us. Of course, the design team came up with many concepts, and all of us kept looking at it. And we wanted to offer a car which is a true SUV in terms of the space inside. And we've repeatedly said that its capability outside normal roads as well, without compromising obviously on the footprint. But for Indian customers, two things matter: the space inside and the high seating position, so that they feel it's an SUV. So we didn't want to compromise that, but there were obviously challenges: the footprint, the width of the car, the glass area, and several areas like that. And it took a long time, but kudos to our design team and our manufacturing team to get a product which is an SUV in terms of how it rides, how it feels inside, but at the same time is able to compete across many different products. So customer who's looking for a hatch can look at it, a customer who's looking at a sedan can look at it, and we think it's come out right in the sweet spot.
And was it a concerted effort to sort of take it to the next level? Because in the past there have been small niggles here and there that you can point to, but with this it's really ironed out pretty much everything that you could have complained about in the past.
Absolutely. I think while Punch kind of is one product where it is very obvious, we have been doing that across every product. It's been a concerted effort over the last 5-6 years to move our products ahead in all kind of initial quality, as we call it, both in terms of how the quality is right off the bat after it rolls out, the kind of materials used, and other softer aspects like NVH and power delivery and vibrations and all that. So yes, and in Punch it becomes very obvious, but this is the way it will be in the future. Yeah,
that's good to hear. The other thing that's been really good to see is that with something that has a small footprint, you've been able to get 5 stars on global NCAP for crash testing and safety. Do you think from the point of view of the customer, we've reached a stage in the market where we've evolved to where it really impacts a customer's decision?
We believe so. Firstly, if you look at data, we do a lot of studies, and safety as a reason to buy has dramatically gone up in the last 2-3 years. I think Indian customers were not aware that cars can actually be built to save them. And I think that realization is coming in, and there are many examples. If you go online and see the videos, safer cars do protect the passengers in terms of some bad luck on the road. So that is a realization which is coming, and increasingly it's accelerating. People feel that yes, I have to drive safe, the roads have to be safe, but my car also has to be up there in terms of what it does. And we are very happy that some of the manufacturers are also kind of taking the lead along with us to start highlighting the need for safety and highlighting the ratings. And I believe it's good for the industry, good for the customer in terms of what he can get out of his car. So yes, safety is gone up in the data shows, and also our own interviews with our customers show this, and it's going to again accelerate, and safety is going to become a far more important reason to buy in the future.
From an EV point of view, you've already got a very strong focus. You've announced a number of new launches, pure EVs in the near future. The Nexon EV has already done well. How do you see that market really evolving over the next couple of years?
EVs obviously is the future. It's the only question is how fast is it going to come upon us. I think customers initially bought EVs for the low cost of ownership.
Yeah.
But what we are seeing now is that they're starting to appreciate the ride of an EV. Obviously the kind of benefits it offers in terms of the better torque availability, the silence. In our case, I think the EVs also ride better than normal cars. These other peripheral benefits are making a bigger impact. Obviously, cost of ownership and cost of running is going to always be a sweet thing for the customer. And with charging infrastructure going up strongly, the government also speaking the same language, I think all the pressures are in one direction, and I think customer adoption will surprise us in the coming years. India has shown in many different areas that it actually starts slow but goes very fast, and we'll see the same in EVs. Yeah.
So from a numbers standpoint, what are you looking at? Because you've already got fairly reasonable footprint with the Nexon.
Yeah.
What does that acceleration look like?
Some of these numbers are, because of the low base, it looks very improbable. But we started off the year with, in fact, if you go back 2 years when we launched the Nexon, it was 3-digit numbers. Low two-digit or three in hundreds, I would say 130, 150 cars. We will be crossing 1,500 cars very soon. So that's already, you're talking about a 10 times growth in 2 years, despite COVID. We expect this kind of growth to keep happening in the future as well. So to some extent, the multiplier factor might seem very, overstated. But all I would say is that customer adoption will be much faster than any of us expect.
And do you think when we get to a certain scale or a volume, that charging infrastructure will become a roadblock at some point?
See, there are two things. Today there is a range anxiety, but the fact is range anxiety is when you take it out on highways. And customers have started realizing that for 95% or 98% of their usage, which is going to be within city, the home charging is more than enough. In fact, I know people where they charge the car only once in 3 days, and they drive about 60-70 kilometers a day, and they've got confidence about the car. Even if somebody wants to charge it daily, it happens overnight when they park it. But yes, Indians always buy cars saying that, okay, for that one long drive with family, I need a car. So that's where I think highway charging will definitely help. And psychologically also, it gives the customer that assurance that, I don't need to plan a trip. I can just go. I'll happen to find a EV charger on the way and just charge it while I have a coffee. So that definitely is going to help the EV adoption, but more from a psychological point of view. But practically, the home charging is good enough. And home charging with slightly larger batteries would actually be the right solution. Yeah.
From a diesel standpoint, what is the future? Because RD testing, real world testing, emission norms kick in April 2023. So what happens to diesel going forward?
See, it's very tricky. So many things are changing. Obviously diesel, in terms of emission and cafe diesel are good actually. And obviously there's the diesel cost in India is going up, the fuel cost. But having said that, the drivability of diesel continues to be good, especially in the larger cars. We don't have large displacement petrol engines in India, so we have to go with the turbocharged versions. Fuel efficiency is never good in larger cars. In the next 4-5 years, how EVs are going to change the game as well is a big deal. Are they going to get into the larger cars as well? So it's a very interesting situation. I think the drivability of diesel and the inherent fuel efficiency of diesel in larger cars will continue to be a selling point. It's not going to disappear from there. But how EV comes into the larger cars is going to be interesting to impact how diesel evolves. is the way we see it.
It's a very dynamic time and it's a very challenging time for a manufacturer.
Absolutely.
The 4x4 space is also something where Tata has been very strong in the past. It's quite an active space in the market. Can we see a re-entry from Tata Motors in that space?
Dhruv, we were committed to 4x4 for a very long time. In fact, the Hexa came with a range of 4x4 options, and we had a lot of tech behind it.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the market is shrinking. There's no takers for the 4x4. It's not a very a cheap technology as well. At a minimum, it's about 100,000 rupees.
Yeah.
And customers are preferring other features instead of that, or they just don't take. And data has shown us that that market has been going down. When the market is there, we'll definitely do it. Or maybe we'll have to look at approaching 4x4 in a slightly different way, not a conventional way. This kind of off-road driving for entertainment in a slightly larger scale has not picked up in India yet. We are also looking at 4x4 more as a safety point of view, maybe in the future. Much safer on the highways when you have all-wheel drive. So different ways to look at it, but right now we don't see the market. We have to be answerable to our ROIs currently, and that's why we are kind of taken the foot off on this. But we can always get back to that if the market evolves, is the way I would say it. Yeah.
And looking ahead to 2022, post-COVID, sort of right now demand is high, supplies are low, but once everything sort of settles down, how do you see the year playing out?
I think the customer sentiments are going to be high. What COVID has also promoted is a larger emphasis on family space and enjoying life and discovering places around us, and going on a long drive or just going on vacations is going to be top priority now. And people have realized that driving vacations are actually great. Thanks to the improving infrastructure on roads, much better organized the tourism infrastructure in terms of stay, cleanliness. COVID has also affected that area, I mean the hygiene elements. So we believe that automotive is going to continue to be a top priority. As we saw in the last 2 years, buying an automotive actually jumped 2-3 spaces in terms of, I call it roti kapda makan priority, but it's come up, so, and that's going to stay that way. There might be varied kind of car requirements. 2-car households have really gone up also in this period. So we might see a large car for vacation, smaller car for city runabouts kind of thing happening, which is very similar to what happens, let's say in Europe or the US. So that's the way we see it. Customer sentiments will continue to improve, and I think future of automotive is pretty strong. Yeah.
Good. Well, that's a positive note to end on, and congratulations again on the success of the Punch. It's really a fantastic machine.
Thank you so much, Dhruv.
Thank you for
Thanks for having me here, and thanks for recognizing the Punch.